Hey, it's Eric G. Around the House is sponsored by Baldwin Hardware. For 75 years, Baldwin Hardware has been known for its first-class quality and craftsmanship in door and cabinetry hardware. As an alumnus of the Baldwin Hardware Design Council, I can say I have seen the details and quality from design to the finished product. If you're looking for a new style and old-world craftsmanship, I can tell you there is only one Baldwin Hardware. Check out what would look great in your home at baldwinhardware.com.
It's Around the House. When it comes to remodeling and renovating your home, there is a lot to know, but we've got you covered. This is Around the House.
Welcome to the Around the House show. This is the midweek special. This is where we help you get the most out of your home through information and education. Happy Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I missed you guys last week, and that was because I was at the Design and Construction Week show in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I tell you what, it is a massive show. They said there were 200,000 people that showed up for that show last week. And here's what's cool about it. It is a mixture of the International Building Show, the National Kitchen and Bath Industry Show, or Kitchen and Bath Industry Show, and the National Hardware Show. So it is the largest trade show in the world of things based around your home. And I can tell you what, and just to give you an idea of how big this is, Julie and I on day one, we walked with my amazing photographer, Eric, down there. We stole out of Las Vegas. Dude's a badass. Absolutely great. First time meeting him, and can't wait to go down and do some more work with him. He was a lot of fun. We did about 9 interviews around the show floor and walked 14 miles. So that was pretty crazy. And then day 2 and day 3, we ended up doing, radio shows and podcasts that you'll hear upcoming from exhibitor booths. So that was a lot of fun. But, man, there was so much to see, and to me, it was really great to see the industry back, the trade shows back, everybody rocking it, the people there, new products everywhere. And speaking of new products, there were a lot of things happening down here at the show. One of the first ones is a small company that we're going to feature here coming up, just because I absolutely fell in love with these guys. Root Quencher. And you're like, Root Quencher, what's this? So if you've got trees, garden, bushes, this is a device that you hook into your sprinkler system. And heck, if you wanted to even hook it into a hose, you could do it. People have done that. And it buries underground and injects water into the underground root system for trees and shrubs. So this is something that's new that you can put in, bury it down, and it actually puts the water down where the roots need it. So if you've got like that clay soil, or you've got on a hill, it will put the water down there instead of putting it, at the bottom of the hill, right? So what an amazing story about these guys, and how we'll talk about it later. But Robert and Maria, the co-founders, they started this out by having the family orchard down in Southern California. And they basically said, hey, these trees are not healthy. They're too old. You're going to have to tear out the family orchard. And they went, what? There's got to be a better way. So they started working on this, noticed the trees getting better, and they created a product for themselves that saved their orchard. And they went, wait a minute. If we can save an orchard from where all the horticulturists and arborists were saying it's got to go, and all of a sudden they came up with a system that can save that. What not a great way to, 1, save water, 2, have healthier plants and trees and shrubs, and 3, have an easy solution that's healthy for the plants, so we're good. So more information on those guys, head over to rootquencher.com. They're available in some Western U.S. Home Depot stores, or you can get them online at homedepot.com. Root Quencher, those guys, impressive stuff. I love their story. We will tell that story a little closer into the spring here as we get closer to that time of year. I tell you what, though, there was so many cool things out there that I thought was really impressive. Couple things. LG, they had some neat new stuff out, but it was really strange. I love those guys, but had an awkward moment with them where I showed up for an appointment and they didn't have anybody around to do interviews, even though we had that set up in a month in advance. So I had to kind of give a self-tour, so you'll love that segment, as I was reading signs talking about what they had there. So that was pretty funny. Got a funny story before we go into crazy products. This was absolutely insane. So one of the evenings, I'm sitting there at the taxi line because we didn't want to walk all the way back the 2 miles back to the Uber in the back of the building. Because, you know, that's what they do in Las Vegas. Taxi lines are up front. Uber lines, opposite side of the building. So same thing with the convention center. So, okay, got it. So we go to the opposite side of the building. This time I'm like, we're standing in front of the taxi line. It's fairly short. Let's do it. So we're sitting in the taxi line, which is all cars, by the way. It's 3 lanes. Oh, it's like the airport. But this is only for taxis. This 20-year-old kid, maybe 22-year-old kid, young kid, comes popping in the taxi line with this newer Camaro that has more wings and things. This thing came out of a Transformers movie. I'm a car guy. It had more carbon fiber that was unnecessary. It was the most ridiculous Camaro I've probably ever seen. And there had to have been 10 little wings, mini wings, air dams, pop riveted onto this thing. And it looked like it was out of a movie. It was that crazy. And I was like, wow, what's going on here? Next thing I know, I see this female in the car start punching and slapping the kid he's driving, so he stops. I'm like, great. Domestic violence in the taxi line. Not a good thing, not something to joke about. This was not pretty. So I couldn't understand what was going on. Really, none of us could, because none of us spoke Chinese, so we couldn't tell what the thing was being said back and forth. But this maybe 18-year-old girl jumps out, starts screaming at him. He's revving up the clutch, dropping the clutch, almost hits her once, bumps into her, knocks her down the second time. And I'm like, great. Now we got 2 cases of domestic violence going on. This isn't good. So she gets mad beyond what she was before, takes her boot, which had high heel boots. She's all of a sudden using her leg and busting off every wing she could find that's made of carbon fiber, and is now throwing those pieces at the car. Then to make it worse, what happens? Oh yeah, hold my beer, this gets weirder. Another girl of the same age comes over, jumps in the car. She gets more furious because at this point I'm going, okay, this seems like this is some triad movie that I'm watching. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, what's going on here? Couldn't tell if those were female friends, girlfriends, air quote, employees. Couldn't tell what was going on. Something seemed off. So she goes over to the other side and starts busting pieces off. He tries to hit her again. All while the security guy that's hailing cabs is trying to stand in front of it, calling for security. Everybody's yelling at the kid, get out of the way, because of course, he's not paying attention to this guy standing in front in the yellow shirt. But he's there dropping the clutch, trying to make the car jolt forward. And I'm like, dude, you get out of the way. You're going to get killed here. You're going to get hit. Because he had no idea this guy was standing 4 feet in front of the car. Finally, she goes running off. There's pieces everywhere. And the taxi for me shows up. We get out of there just as the security guy goes, hey, dude, you're staying here. Cops are on the way, and we need some reports to be filed. So that was going on there, and she took off into the wilderness someplace of the show. But that was our own show that we got to see there in Vegas, all from the taxi line. So that was pretty insane. Well, let's get on to the cool things of the show that happened here. That was the not so cool thing of the show. And, typical of Vegas, sometimes it happens. But I tell you what, going around Got to see a lot of good friends. It was so great. I'm sitting there getting ready to shoot over at one of the booths, and it was so much fun because I got to see my buddy Jeff Devlin, Stonehouse Revival over at Magnolia Network. And oh my gosh, what a great guy. I just love that guy. He is a good friend. And that was so much fun. And then I got to go over and hang out with Roger Wakefield in person, so can't wait to show that. My buddy Roger Wakefield, expert plumber. Got to see him, and then so many more great people out there. The only bummer is I didn't get to see my buddy Skip Patel. I saw him from a distance. Every time I went by, he was shooting something and I was shooting something, so it was just one of those things. And then Andrew Pace, got to see him. So it was a lot of great people. Guido stopped by. It was an awesome time at the show, so I had a great time. So let's talk about some of the products here that I thought were pretty amazing. Stopped off in the Toto booth. And, Toto makes some absolutely amazing stuff. And there's a lot of great toilets out there. I've got getting ready to shoot a DXV toilet install at my house with the bidet and stuff for the TV show. But Toto, oh my gosh, those guys every year, they're the largest toilet manufacturer in the world, more so than even American Standard and Kohler combined. Huge. So they have this toilet that is about as self-cleaning as you get. It actually has this misting feature, which mists under the seat and stuff to keep it from getting dirty. I mean, talk about how crazy. They had it all thought out. Very impressive. And then popped over there. They had a great tub, too, that was beautiful. Can't wait to show you that one on a future TV episode. But let's see. Clopay Garage Doors. Went over, talked to those guys. Talk about having some beautiful garage doors. They've got some great stuff coming out this year you don't want to miss. And then I went over to my friends over at Fiberon. And so we're going to be doing some cladding on the front of my house. And I went and talked to them a little bit. And, man, talk about a 50-year product you can put on the outside of your house. You don't have to deal with painting or finishing. Going to go in the front of my house. Looking forward to that. That's another project. And then here's what I thought was really cool. Carrier came out with something. They now have a system that they can hook into your existing system, and they can monitor your heating and cooling system from the tech's office. I thought that was absolutely crazy. So you're going to be able to monitor your existing system and new systems. They'll be able to check what the pressures are. They can come out and mount the system in, and it will tell them what's going on in your system before they even show up. So you can literally text into them and they can look at it. So that was really cool. And then, oh my gosh, tell you what, the other one that was cool, and you'll hear this one this week, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but Simpson Doors, my friend over at Simpson Doors, Brad Lovelace, we got him on the show this weekend, and can't wait to show you that one. Then let's see, we went over to Kohler. Oh my gosh, it was Kohler's, 150th birthday. Those guys had to have spent $10 million in this booth, showing off all the crazy cool stuff they do. And there are so many things, from this cool shower system to, this is the one that I thought was amazing. Imagine this, and I'll post the picture up here today. One of my favorite kitchen faucets in recent years that I haven't seen done before. It is a drop-down faucet that comes out of the ceiling in the kitchen with a remote control to control the faucet. So there's literally, you could have a two-sided island without a single hole in the countertop. And it's a completely drop-down ceiling faucet. And you know what? Here we go. I'm going to change the rules a little bit. I'm going to make that the cover for this episode so you can see what it is. And that way you can take a look at it. So that was cool. Went over and saw a really cool German kitchen line, Hacker Kitchens out of Germany. They were cool. And, of course, went over and popped in and saw my friends over at Infinity Drain and the new colors they have over there. One thing that Kohler was doing, I forgot to mention, they had all these colors that they were having the public pick to be their new color, and they were retro. It was avocado green. It was the oranges, the yellows, the pinks. It was all those colors out of the 50s and 60s and early 70s, and they had them all made up there. And you got to pick the color, and the color that you picked as a group was going to be the next color from them. So I thought that was really cool as well. But I tell you what, guys, there was so much stuff there. We'll be unpacking this in future episodes. But man, congratulations as well to our friends over at Bro New Tone who got the interior product of the year there with their amazing new product that we're going to talk about this weekend on the show. So you don't want to miss that. I'll give you that little tease ahead with that. But tell you what, man, it's been awesome, guys. I really appreciate all that. And thank you for keeping busy with me here, too. I have been burning the candle at both ends with the TV show coming out here in under 2 weeks. So February 18th. And if you're on your phone right now and you're like, I don't live in the Portland area, I want to watch it. Look up on your phone. Here's a little secret. The Fox 12 app, Portland. So go Fox 12. Not the big Fox News, but the Fox, like Simpsons Fox brand. The local one. Fox 12 app. And then you'll be able to stream it on your phone on that. So you can go to your Google, your Apple, and take a look at it there. Add it on there, and you'll be able to do that as well as on that app. You can actually, right now, if you look for Around the House, you could actually submit a question on the TV right there. It'll be in my upcoming show. So if you've got a home improvement question or you're trying to fix a problem that no one's been able to answer for you, or you just haven't quite gotten the answer, if you want to be in a future episode of the show, this is how you do it. Jump on that app or take a look over at our other Facebook page, which is Around the House Northwest. That is the one there for the television show. So we're going to have one separate for the radio show, one for the television show, just to keep it so it's not all jumbled together. So you, as our friends and insiders here, get to understand where it's coming from. So you're not, was that TV? Was that radio? Was that podcast? You'll be able to know what's going on. And I tell you what, that was great. And the other person I got to see, which was awesome, Ross Trethewey from This Old House. That was fun to catch up with him. And, of course, my buddy and frequent guest, Walt Tamala. Great catching up with him as well. And special thanks to Dura Supreme Cabinets out there for taking us out for a wonderful night up in one of the pods at the Stratosphere. Those guys, I used to work with them for over a decade selling cabinets back in my designer days. And special thanks to Charlie and her crew for having us as a guest that night. And that was great up there at Liberty Bay Cabinetry out of the Seattle area. Those guys were great. Great catching up with old friends. And that's some of the fun parts with this down there at the show. And we've got so many more episodes coming up. Lots of great stuff. I recorded a bunch of stuff from the show down there of new products. They're going to be kind of trickling out over the next month. And stay tuned for all the great stuff on the television as well, because we've got a lot of good stuff coming up there. And we're going to be doing a cool segment on the TV, which is going to be our Made in USA segment. Until we turn this on nationally, we're going to call it Made in Northwest here in Portland. But I tell you what, it is a segment we are featuring products that are made in the United States here and even our local area. But as it expands, we'll expand it out. But you'll see some great stuff that is handcrafted here and not made overseas in China or one of those things. So we're going to highlight craftsmanship in that one as well. All right, guys, have a great rest of the week. Happy midweek special. We got a great show ahead this weekend. I'm really looking forward to on the radio and podcast. There's if you're listening on the radio show, of course, the podcast has the extended version. But if you're catching us on the radio when you're out running around, we do appreciate you tuning in there as well. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. As always, thanks for listening to Around the House. We'll see you soon.
Undiscovered, anywhere beyond the mean. Life is a love song, let's be lovers. We're all over the radio. Take my hand, I know where to go. All over the radio with you.
Hey, it's Eric G. from Around the House. Are you planning a decking or siding project this year? If you are, you've got to check out my friends at Millboard. Millboard is a completely different kind of composite decking and cladding that enhances outdoor spaces with enduring distinction. Hand-molded from the finest oak, It realistically mimics the natural grain and color of premium hardwood. If you're looking for something that doesn't look like plastic and instead real wood, check out Millboard.com. Make sure and check out that interview we did just a few weeks back. That's Millboard.com.